Good afternoon, students. In yesterday's class, we had ended with our discussion on unconditional appropriation of uncertain goods and how, on appropriation of a particular uncertain good, it transfers or makes a particular agreement to sale into a contract of sale. So, in continuance of that particular provision, we also read about the particular provision of delivery to a carrier, where under section 23 clause 2 it wrote that it lays down that it deals with the delivery to the carrier, where in pursuance of the contract the seller delivers the goods to the buyer or to the carrier or other bailee, whether named by the buyer or not, for the purpose of transmission to the buyer, and does not reserve the right of disposal, then he is deemed to have unconditionally appropriated the goods to the contract. So here we saw that when a particular seller is delivering the goods to the particular buyer, and when he is in persons of delivering it and he attaches the goods, and with the help of a particular railway receipt, I also gave you the example yesterday that if in the railway receipt he is putting the name of the particular buyer, then he is not reserving the right of disposal, right? He is not reserving the right of disposal. So the moment he has already given it to a carrier, then the particular good has already been appropriated, it has been unconditionally appropriated to the contract, it has been attached to the contract in its entirety, right? So that was the particular importance of the term of not reserving the right of disposal. The moment the seller does not reserve the right of disposal, he is said to have passed the risk on to the buyer and thereby unconditionally appropriated the goods to the buyer, right? So now in this scenario, when we are talking about this reserving the right of disposal, under section 23 clause 2, it kind of showcases that it recognizes the rule that when goods are delivered to a carrier or the like for transmission to the buyer, the carrier is presumed to be the buyer's agent, not only to take delivery but also to assent to the appropriation, and thereby when the good is delivered, it is already the particular good which is the property of the buyer. So the property has already passed, right? So that was the particular importance of section 23 clause 2. But from here we are going to take this particular point of reserving the right of disposal, and we'll see that a particular continuance of section 23 is also found in section 25. Let's see how. So as we know that the delivery of the carrier, when the carrier is delivering the goods to the particular buyer, then this delivery can be of two types, right? It may be of two types, right? So the first is absolutely for the buyer, right? The first is absolutely for the buyer, which in the situation, it is the situation in which section 23 clause 2 is applicable, and the carrier becomes an agent of the buyer, right? And so the goods are unconditionally appropriated by the seller, and the risk passes from the seller to the buyer, right? So now let's see what the particular first part, the absolutely for the buyer portion, speaks about, right? So it says that where the bill of lading or railway receipt is made out in the name of the buyer, right, and is sent to him, where the bill of lading, it's not landing, it's lading, where the bill of lading or the railway receipt is made out in the name of the buyer and is sent to him, the presumption is that no right of disposal has been reserved by the seller in respect of those goods. The ownership in such a case passes from the seller to the buyer, right? So this particular part where it is absolutely for the buyer, when the delivery of the carrier is absolutely for the buyer, the ownership passes from the seller to the buyer. So this is what has been laid down under section 23 clause 2, जहाँ पे the right of disposal has not been kept by the seller and it has been transferred to the buyer, right? Where the bill of lading or the railway receipt is made out in the name of the buyer and is sent to him. तो वहां पे दे दिया, उसी के नाम पे बनाया, तो फिर यहाँ पे कोई राइट ऑफ डिस्पोजल इज नॉट रिजर्व्ड बाय द पर्टिकुलर सेलर. सो द प्रॉपर्टी पासेस फ्रॉम द सेलर टू द बायर. The second particular situation of delivery is where it is absolutely for the seller. So this is the second situation that we are going to talk about now, right? The second situation lays down that when it is absolutely for the seller, so where the bill of lading or the railway receipt is taken in the seller's or his agent's name, where the bill of lading or the railway receipt is taken in the seller's or his agent's name and is sent to the agent of the seller to be delivered to the buyer on the fulfillment of certain conditions, राइट? जहां पे जो बिल ऑफ लीडिंग है और जो रेलवे रिसीट है ये एक्चुअली सेलर के नाम पे या फिर सेलर के एजेंट के नाम पे लिया गया है एंड इट इज सेंट टू द सेलर्स एजेंट, राइट? कि सेलर के पास वो रिसीट है, सेलर के नाम पे वो रिसीट है, सेलर के पास वो रिसीट है, एंड द मोमेंट व्हेन अ सर्टेन कंडीशन इज फुलफिल्ड देन द सेलर इज गोइंग टू डिलीवर द रेलवे रिसीट और द बिल ऑफ लीडिंग टू द पर्टिकुलर बायर, देन and that is dependent on the fulfillment of certain conditions, then the seller is deemed to have reserved the right of disposal of the goods, right? तो यहाँ पे seller जो है he has reserved the right of disposal of the goods, he has kept with him the right of disposal of the goods, right? So यहाँ पे जो bill of lading है, जो रेलो receipt है, that both of these things are with the particular seller. He has reserved the right of disposal with himself, right? He has reserved the right of disposal with himself, and because he has reserved the right of disposal of the goods, the ownership is not set to pass from the seller to the buyer, right? So in such a case the ownership does not pass to the buyer until the necessary conditions are fulfilled and the document of title are delivered to the buyer, right? तो ये जो रेलवे रिसीट, ये जो बिल ऑफ लीडिंग के बारे में हम बात कर रहे हैं, ये क्या है? ये डॉक्यूमेंट ऑफ टाइटल है. So the moment you make the document of title in the name of the buyer, you definitely do not reserve the right of disposal. The seller is not reserving the right of disposal because he is making the bill of lading, he is making the railway receipt, he is making the document of title to the goods in the name of the buyer, and he is also delivering the document of title to goods to the particular buyer, right? So we have read about document of title to goods, and we know that document of title to goods is something which can be passed by the seller to the buyer, and the moment he passes it, the right is also given away. So the ownership is also given away, right? The ownership passes from the seller to the buyer. So if the seller is reserving the right of disposal, if he is making that document of title to goods in his own name or in his agent's name, if he is not delivering it to the particular buyer, then in that scenario he is reserving the right of disposal with himself, and then in that scenario the property does not pass, right? In that scenario the property does not pass. So this particular provision has been embedded under section 25. Let's see how. So section 25 lays down the provision. The section 25 lays down the provision for the reservation of the right of disposal. It lays down the provision for the reservation of the right of disposal. Reservation of the right of disposal means reserving a right to dispose of the goods until certain conditions are fulfilled. जब तक कोई कंडीशन लाइक दैट ऑफ पेमेंट ऑफ प्राइस, जब तक वो फुलफिल नहीं हो जाता तब तक आप डॉक्यूमेंट ऑफ टाइटल टू गुड्स नहीं देंगे. जब तक आप डॉक्यूमेंट ऑफ टाइटल टू गुड्स नहीं देंगे बायर को, तब तक आपका प्रॉपर्टी पास नहीं करता है. जब तक आपका प्रॉपर्टी पास नहीं करता है तब तक आपका जो रिस्क है वो भी पास नहीं करता है, राइट? सो सेक्शन 25 इज लेइंग डाउन दैट पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट. आपने अप्रोप्रिएट कर लिए गुड्स, यू हैव अनकंडीशनली अप्रोप्रिएटेड द गुड्स, राइट. सो आफ्टर अप्रोप्रिएशन यू हैव टू गिव इट टू द पर्टिकुलर बायर. इवन इन केस ऑफ स्पेसिफिक गुड्स के केस में भी जब आप अप्रोप्रिएट नहीं करते, आप ऑलरेडी गुड्स को आइडेंटिफाई कर लिए हैं, आपने भेज दिया है, बट आपने यू हैव रिजर्व द राइट ऑफ डिस्पोजल विथ योरसेल्फ, यू हैव नॉट गिवन द पर्टिकुलर डॉक्यूमेंट ऑफ टाइटल, आपने ट्रांसफर नहीं किया है, then in that scenario the seller is reserving the particular right in the particular property of the goods, right. So he is not disposing of his right, right. So in this situation, when the seller reserves a right in the property in the goods, and in this scenario the property in the goods does not pass until those conditions are fulfilled. जब तक उसको प्राइस नहीं मिल जाता, जब तक सेलर को प्राइस is not paid, when till the point he does not give away the document of title to the goods, until the conditions are fulfilled of price, till then the property does not pass. The seller reserves such a right expressly while making the contract or while making appropriation of uncertain goods. He may also reserve the right by implication. For example, when the seller while transporting goods takes the railway receipt or the bill of lading in his own name, or where the seller has taken the bill in the name of the buyer but has delivered the same to the bank with the instruction that the document is to be delivered to the buyer only when he makes the payment of the price or accepts the bill of exchange, राइट. सो इन दोनों यहाँ पे दो पर्टिकुलर सर्कमस्टांसेस दिए गए हैं. पहला सर्कमस्टांसेस वो है जहाँ पे जो सेलर है ही हैज व्हाइल ही इज ट्रांसपोर्टिंग द गुड्स टू द पर्टिकुलर बायर, he makes the railway receipt or the bill of lading in his own name. वो अपने नाम पे bill of lading, अपने नाम पे document of title to goods बना देता है और वो अपने पास रख लेता है, और जब तक बायर प्राइस नहीं देगा तब तक वो नहीं देगा, तब तक वो प्रॉपर्टी जो है, the property in the goods are not going to pass to the buyer, right. Till the price is not paid by the buyer, he is not going to pass the property to the buyer, right. So this is the first situation where he is reserving the right of disposal. So the property is not passing. The second situation over here is an example where the seller has taken the bill in the name of the buyer. जहाँ पे the bill of lading or the particular railway receipt has been taken in the name of the buyer, right. पहले में वो अपने ही नाम पे बनाता है and he does not deliver it to the particular buyer, he does not make it in the name of the buyer. So obviously directly he is reserving the right of disposal, he is not passing the property. In the second scenario, he has taken the bill in the name of the buyer, but what he has done is that instead of delivering it to the buyer, railway receipt अगर buyer के नाम पे लिया है तो complete तभी ना होगा जब वो railway receipt buyer को वो दे देगा, when he also gives the notice to the buyer that he has done what he is supposed to do, he has already shipped it, and therefore you take in control the property rights, okay. तो जब तक वो notice नहीं देता है तब तक तो वो complete deliver नहीं होगा, right. We have already read that under section 22 that he is supposed to also serve a notice to the buyer that this is the railway receipt, I have already shipped it to you, right. So in this particular scenario, if he is not yet given the railway receipt, if he has not yet given the bill of lading, right, so it showcases that in this particular scenario अगर वो नहीं देता है उसको, तो यहाँ पे he is reserving the right of disposal. तो he has taken it in the name of the buyer, but what he does is he delivers it to the bank, right. वो बैंक में वो उस चीज को जमा कर देता है with the instruction that ये डॉक्यूमेंट, ये जो नोटिस है, ये जो पर्टिकुलर डॉक्यूमेंट ऑफ टाइटल है, दैट वुड बी डिलीवर्ड टू द बायर, दैट वुड बी गिवन टू द बायर ओनली व्हेन ही मेक्स पेमेंट ऑफ द प्राइस, right. Only when he makes payment of the price, after he makes payment of the price, he can take the document of title to the goods and take the ownership of the particular property. That is the first condition. Or what he can do is he can accept the bill of exchange, right. He can accept the bill of exchange. He will make a promise, he will undertake a promise that he will be paying in future, right. So that bill of exchange acts as a promise, acts as a legal promise that he makes to the bank that he will be undertaking a promise to a particular undertaking that he will be making the payment in future, right? So that bill of exchange acts as a negotiable instrument, acts as a alternative of money that he is going to pay that, right? So यहाँ पे इन दोनों तरीके से भी he can reserve the right of disposal, right? By even after taking the particular railway receipt in the name of the buyer, he might give it to the bank and say that you reserve it, जब तक वो पैसे नहीं देगा आप उसको ये पर्टिकुलर रेलवे रिसीट या बिल ऑफ लीडिंग मत देना, और अगर वो ये भी लेके जाना चाहता है बट उसके पास पैसे नहीं है तो आप उससे एक बिल ऑफ एक्सचेंज मांग लेना, तो बिल ऑफ एक्सचेंज आप साइन करके दे देना. ही विल अंडरटेक अ अंडरटेकिंग, right? He will be taking an undertaking that he will make the payment in future. So that has been provided under section 25, where the seller might reserve a right of disposal in the situation where, in this particular situation, when he reserves the right of disposal, the property is not going to pass from the seller to the particular buyer. Alright. So section 25 you can see over here. So section 25 has been laid down. So you can see over here the particular provision. It has been stating that where there is a contract for the sale of specific goods, or where goods are subsequently appropriated to the contract, where there is a sale of specific goods, right? मैंने बोला कि specific goods के केस में भी ये applicable है, और when there is a subsequent appropriation to the contract, that is in the case of uncertain goods, right? The seller may, by the terms of the contract, or appropriation, reserve the right of disposal of the goods until certain conditions are fulfilled, right? Until certain conditions are fulfilled, जब तक प्राइस वो पे नहीं कर देता, बायर जब तक प्राइस पे नहीं कर देता, he can reserve the right of disposal of the goods, right? And in such a case, notwithstanding the delivery of the goods already deliver हो चुके होते हैं, they are already on the process, they will get delivered to the buyer, but because the document of title is still with the particular seller, or the seller has given it to a bank, we read the two particular circumstances earlier, right? So when in these two circumstances are there, then the particular seller reserves the right over the property, right? Even though the goods are delivered to the buyer or to a carrier or to any other bailee for the purpose of transmission to the buyer, the property in the goods do not pass to the buyer until the conditions implied by the seller are fulfilled. तब तक प्रॉपर्टी जो है पास नहीं करती है, राइट? सो where goods are shipped or delivered to a railway administration for carriage by railway, right? When goods are shipped or delivered to a railway administration for carriage by railway or by the bill of lading or railway receipt, as the case may be, the goods are deliverable to the order of the seller or his agent. The seller is prima facie deemed to reserve the right of disposal, right? Third point is where the seller of goods draws on the buyer, for the price and transmits to the buyer the bill of exchange, right? Where the seller of goods draws on the buyer for the price and transmits to the buyer the bill of exchange together with the bill of lading. मतलब bill of exchange जैसे मैंने कहा कि भाई ये एक negotiable instrument है कि अगर bill of exchange it is in place of money, the buyer is giving a bill of exchange by stating that आपको ये मेरा पैसे का exchange है, and by virtue of this I am giving you a legal undertaking that I owe you this amount of money. I owe you this amount of money. So this is a legal document which showcases ठीक है आपसे this पैसा I am going to pay you in future. And that bill of exchange can also pass, right? If the buyer is also has a certain other person, supposedly there is another person B who is supposed to pay to the buyer. अगर buyer अगर bill of exchange pass कर देता है तो that A person can also pay the particular seller, right? So यहाँ पे ये transmission जो है ये bill of exchange, it is an exchange of money that it can be used, right? So where the seller of goods draws on the buyer for the price and transmits to the buyer the bill of exchange together with the bill of lading, or as the case may be the railway receipt to secure acceptance or payment of the bill of exchange, the buyer is bound to return the bill of lading or the railway receipt if he does not honor the bill of exchange, कि वो bill of exchange, because I said that it is a legal document in exchange for money, so in this situation अगर the particular buyer does not honor the bill of exchange, then there is a legal liability on him that he is supposed to return the bill of lading or the railway receipt, which is the document of title to the goods, right? So in this situation also the seller is reserving the right of disposal, कि he can sell the goods to anybody else, right? And if the buyer does away with the goods, then the seller can also sue the particular buyer with the help of that bill of exchange, right? So, and if he wrongfully retains the bill of lading or railway receipt, the property in the goods does not pass to the him. तो अगर यहाँ पे the seller reserves the right of disposal through any of the means that I have already stated, through a bill of exchange or through putting his name on the particular bill of lading or the railway receipt. So इन दोनों situations को use करके अगर जो हमारा seller है, if he reserves the right of disposal, then the property does not pass to the buyer. The property does not pass to the buyer, the property remains in the seller, right? Bill of exchange का concept शायद थोड़ा सा अभी confusing लगे, but the next thing that we are going to read with this particular sale of goods act is, after the sale of goods act is negotiable instruments. तो अभी के लिए अगर आप bill of exchange ना भी समझे तो इसको you can just keep it at the back of your mind and understand it as a general concept that in case the particular seller is reserving the right of disposal, if he's making the bill of lading, if he's making the railway receipt in his own name, then he is reserving the right of disposal, right? He is reserving the right of disposal, and if he reserves the right of disposal, the particular conclusion is what? That the property does not pass to the buyer, right? इसको बस इस normal conceptually आप समझ ले. जब bill of exchange हम पढ़ेंगे negotiable instruments में, then we will understand the whole concept in a deep manner, right? अभी तक के लिए इसको conceptually इसको clear कर ले. If the seller is reserving the right of disposal, then the property does not pass. If he does not reserve the right of disposal, if he sends it to the particular buyer, if he makes it in the name of the particular buyer, and he delivers it to the particular buyer, the document of title to goods, then he is not reserving the right of disposal, and in that scenario the property passes from the seller to the buyer. That is with regard to section 25. Now let's delve into section 24. यहाँ पे आपका एक particular unit भी खत्म हो जा रहा है section 24 पे. So section 24 is laying down goods sent on approval or on sale or return. So section 24 lays down that when goods are delivered to the buyer, on approval or on sale or return, when the goods are delivered to the buyer on approval or on sale or return or other similar terms, the property therein passes to the buyer, right? The property therein passes to the buyer under what circumstances? When goods are sent on approval or on sale or return basis, यहाँ पे जब आप approval पे goods बेचते हैं seller को, इस situation में contract तभी affirm करता है, तभी property जो है, the property in the goods passes under certain circumstances, right? So there are two attributes, there are two conditions of the goods to pass from the seller to the buyer in case of a sale where the goods are sent on approval, right? In case of a sale where the goods are sent on approval, the property in the goods passes from the seller to the buyer in the fulfillment of two conditions. The first condition is when he signifies his approval, when the buyer signifies his approval or acceptance to the seller, right? When he signifies his approval or acceptance to the seller or does any act adopting the transaction. क्योंकि ये goods are sent on approval, that approval has to be shown by the buyer. The buyer has to signify his approval, he has to send his acceptance to the seller or do any act by virtue of which it will be clear that he is adopting the transaction, he is assenting to the transaction. So that is the first criteria. The second criteria is that if he does not signify his approval, in the scenario he does not signify his approval or acceptance to the seller but retains the good without giving notice of rejection. he has not approved the goods, he has not signified his approval, he has not signified his acceptance, वो adopt नहीं कर रहा है, he is not signified, he is not showcased that he is approving of the goods, but he is also not sending it back, right? So in the scenario, if he does not signify his approval or acceptance to the seller, but he retains the good, he keeps the good with himself, then in that scenario, if he retains the good without giving notice of rejection, then if a time has been fixed for the return of the goods, अगर कोई time fix है for the return of the goods, on the expiration of such time, on the expiration of time, अगर कोई time fix है कि भाई इस time के बाद आप reject नहीं कर सकते goods को, then on the expiration of time, and if no time is fixed, on the expiration of a reasonable time, the property is passed from the seller to the buyer. तो आप ये चीज समझ ले कि supposedly there is a particular sale which is made on approval basis कि goods जो हैं वो भेज दिए जाएंगे buyer को, but buyer has to send his approval for the property to pass from the seller to the buyer, कि जहाँ पे एक सिस्टम होता है रिटर्न का, ठीक है, जैसे कि हम फॉर एग्जाम्पल लेट्स टॉक अबाउट ई कॉमर्स, राइट? सो ई कॉमर्स में होता है कि यू हैव अ 7 day रिटर्न फैसिलिटी, कि 7 दिन के अंदर आप रिटर्न कर सकते हैं वापस कंपनी को, राइट? सो नाउ द थिंग इज दैट इट इज गुड सेंट ऑन अप्रूवल और रिटर्न बेसिस. सो नाउ यहाँ पे इस पर्टिकुलर ट्रांजैक्शन में जब आप सपोजिटली ई कॉमर्स से आपने मंगवाया है, ई कॉमर्स से आपने मंगवाया है पर्टिकुलर कोई ड्रेस, एक पर्टिकुलर कुर्ता मंगवाया है आपने, सो दैट ड्रेस और कुर्ता दैट यू हैव बॉट दैट हैज अ 7 day रिटर्न पॉलिसी. नाउ व्हाट हैपेंस इज यू हैव बॉट दैट कुर्ता, इट हैज गॉट डिलीवर्ड टू यू. So now what happens is you have to signify your approval, right? Either you signify your approval that yes, I have received it, I am in acceptance of it. So if you accept it, if you signify your acceptance, you try it on and you say that okay, it is fitting me well, I am accepting it, you are signifying your acceptance and your approval, then you adopt the transaction, then the property has passed on to you, right? The property has completely passed on to you. बट सपोजिटली आपने अपना अप्रूवल जो है वो सिग्निफाई नहीं किया है, राइट? तो यहाँ पे एक 7 day रिटर्न पॉलिसी है, तो यहाँ पे एक टाइम फिक्स्ड है, एक टाइम फिक्स्ड है कि भाई इस टाइम के बाद आप रिटर्न नहीं कर सकते. तो अगर आपने अप्रूवल नहीं दिया है तो इस यहाँ पे ये 7 day का फिक्स टाइम जो है ये लागू हो जाएगा. So when you do not return the particular property within 7 days, it is taken that you are not rejecting the goods. It has been taken into consideration that you are not rejecting the goods, and if you are not signifying your approval or acceptance, but you have retained the goods विदाउट गिविंग एनी नोटिस ऑफ रिजेक्शन. जब आपने रिटर्न नहीं फाइल किया है, आपने रिटर्न नहीं फाइल किया तो आपने नोटिस ऑफ रिजेक्शन तो दिया नहीं है. तो आपने बिकॉज आपने नोटिस ऑफ रिजेक्शन नहीं दिया है, 7 day का रिटर्न पॉलिसी जो है वो एक्सपायर कर चुका है, एंड ऑन द एक्सपिरेशन ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर टाइम पीरियड द प्रॉपर्टी हैज पास्ड फ्रॉम द सेलर टू द बायर. वो प्रॉपर्टी जो है वो आपके पास पास हो चुकी है. अब उस गुड्स को अगर डैमेज भी हो जाए, आपको फिट नहीं भी आए, बट बिकॉज आपने 7 दिन के अंदर आपने रिजेक्शन नहीं फाइल किया है, आपने रिटर्न नहीं फाइल किया है, प्रॉपर्टी ऑलरेडी आपकी हो चुकी है, उसके बाद आप रिटर्न नहीं फाइल कर सकते, राइट? अदरवाइज अगर ये 7 day का टाइम पीरियड नहीं है, तो बहुत सिनेरियो पे अगर रिटर्न के टाइम पीरियड नहीं दिया हुआ है तो एक रीजनेबल टाइम हम कैलकुलेट कर लेते हैं कि एक रीजनेबल टाइम इज फिक्स्ड, एंड विद इन द रीजनेबल टाइम अगर सपोजिटली 7 days और 2 weeks, राइट? अगर 2 weeks के टाइम में आपने नहीं वापस किया तो ये गुड ऑलरेडी हैज पास्ड फ्रॉम द सेलर टू द बायर, एंड इन दिस सिनेरियो यू कांट फाइल द रिटर्न, right? So that is with regard to passing of property in the case of a sale of good on approval basis, right? In a case of a sale of goods on approval basis, right? So here a buyer is under a contract, right? In this particular scenario a buyer is under a contract on the basis of sale or return. जैसे कि ई कॉमर्स में you are under a contract on the basis of sale or return and is deemed to have exercised his option, and he is deemed to have exercised his option, and when he does any act exercising domination over the goods, right? अगर supposedly आप क्या करते हैं, आप वहां से लेके आए, आपने इसे अप्रूवल और रिटर्न के बेसिस पे लिया है और आपने किसी और को बेच दिया, राइट? आप ई कॉमर्स चला रहे हैं, आपने खरीदा और फिर आप किसी और को बेच रहे हैं, राइट? तो यहाँ पे इस सिचुएशन, और यू गिव इट टू समबडी एल्स, राइट? सो इन दिस सिनेरियो बिकॉज यू हैव एक्सरसाइज्ड द डोमिनेशन ओवर द गुड्स, there also the property passes, right? So it shows a unequivocal intention, it shows a unequivocal intention to buy, right? Supposedly if you pledge the goods to another person, to a third party, right? So in this scenario, failure or inability to return the goods or any sort of unequivocal intention to buy, you pledge it to a third party, this necessarily implies the selection to buy, right? This necessarily implies a selection to buy, and that is why the property is completely passed on to the particular buyer, right? यहाँ पे एक और example हम discuss कर लेते हैं. Supposedly there is a person A who sends to B another person a water motor, ठीक है? A है, seller है, B को एक water motor भेजते हैं on approval or return basis on March 2012, right? On March 2012, and B has to return it after trial in August 2012, right? So B to return it after trial in August 2012. तो मार्च से अगस्त तक का उनके पास सेल और रिटर्न का अप्रूवल का टाइम पीरियड है. सो द वाटर मोटर वॉज नॉट रिटर्न विद इन अ रीजनेबल टाइम पीरियड. तो अगस्त के तक भी उन्होंने रिटर्न नहीं किया, उन्होंने रिजेक्ट नहीं किया है. सो इस सिचुएशन में ए इज नॉट बाउंड टू एक्सेप्ट इट, राइट? ए उसको एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेगा बिकॉज सेल और रिटर्न का जो टाइम पीरियड फिक्स था वो था मार्च से लेके अगस्त तक. तो मार्च से लेके अगस्त तक में बिकॉज बी हैज नॉट सेंड बैक द गुड, इन दिस सिनेरियो बी हैज टू एक्सेप्ट द ट्रांजैक्शन एंड बी हैज टू पे द प्राइस, right? So this is applicable in case of a good that is sent on approval or on sale or return basis, right? So यहाँ पे you can see there are three conditions, right? The first condition is where he signifies his approval or acceptance to the seller, when the buyer signifies his approval or acceptance to the seller. The second is when he does any act adopting the transaction, when he does any act adopting the transaction. And the third particular criteria is if he does not signify his acceptance or approval to the seller, but he retains the goods beyond a certain reasonable time period, then in that scenario also it is considered that the property has already passed from the seller to the buyer. So this is for today's class, and I think the 30 minutes are already over. So go through it, and whatever doubts are there I'll be clearing in the next class. And also in the next class we'll start with transfer of title. We'll start with exceptions to the nemo that quod non habet rule. So okay guys, thank you.